Om Shri Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram.
Dear Sai brothers and sisters, it's been a wonderful day in Ooty. I've just landed up here, and to my surprise, the weather has been good, and it's all Swami's grace. The interviews have been lined up one after the other, and today I have with me Shri Premnath Raoji, and Sai brother Premnath Raoji has been in Ooty, and their family has been 3 generations here. So over to him now to say how beautifully Swami has roped in him into his fold. So welcome.
Welcome. Sai Ram. I leave my prayers to Bhagwan's feet, and then let me tell about myself, how I got into the Sai fold.
Yes, you have to be a little louder.
Yes, please. What happened was, one fine day, you see, my father and my elder sisters, 2 of them, happened to know that Swami is going to come to Dr. Madan's house. So that time what happened was, there was one headmistress of a school, who was also a devotee. They had a jeep. So, it wouldn't start. So we are all supposed to go in that during that winter time. So I happened to go there, and the first thing my father told me, whenever Swami comes, that day you don't do anything else, just be near with him. Whatever he wants to get, he will tell you, you will have to go and do that for him. That's how I was just introduced into the thing. So one fine day like that, we happened to simply go there, and it was a very, very cold winter. So I went to the kitchen and made some fire along with the cook there in a portable fireplace and kept it in Swami's room so that it will be cold for him. No? It will be warm. That time, some VIP persons who had come along with him, some of them I was told afterwards that one was UP governor of those days, such people. So he saw me what it was. Have you come? Vanditya, he asked. Then I was just standing there. My strict instructions was to do whatever Swami says. He tapped at my back and said, will you be able to get me some inland letters? I want to write some letters and post.
Inland letters?
Inland letters.
Okay.
So I said, yes, I will get it for you. It was 7 o'clock that time. Early morning, 7 o'clock.
Very
So I went straight from Madan's house to the post office, which was quite nearby only. It so happened that the postmaster's quarters was with the post office. And the postmaster's son and myself, plus a neighbor of our shop, his son, we 3 were taking tuition in that postmaster's house. The postmaster, an ex-serviceman, used to teach us the lessons. So I went there straight and tapped the door. How come you have come at 7 o'clock? Usual time is 9 and 10. Why did you come early? He asked. No, I want some inland cards. Baba has come. He happened to know something about Baba, but he was not connected with him in anything. He was a duty-conscious person. Well, I will get you. How much you want to buy for? Swami gave me 2 rupees. You give me inland for that. So the differences he put it from his pocket, and after whatsoever, he wrote a small paper, took a small paper and wrote, I supplied inland to an urgent person, and the amount is kept there in your table, in the stamp and the section. And he put the seal and signed that. Then I took those inland, I came straight and gave it to Swami. Then he told, did you see, I have persons to get me inland at 7 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what he was behind having the idea. Then what happened was these 8 guys whom I was telling as Swami's closer, my elder brother in group, one by one they are coming. Then Swami said, will you stand on that? He asked the first person who came. Okay, Swami, if you tell, I'll stand. Then, no, I just asked like that, he told. And within 2 minutes, another one person came. She told, will you stand on that? The same question was asked. He told, if Swami says, I will have to do it. I have no other option, I'll do it.
There was a fire, is it?
Yeah, that fireplace I told you for
Okay.
cold.
So
On
on that,
On
Swami
that.
wanted them to stand up. Okay.
Just like that. Immediately all were ready. Like that, all 8 of them told the same answer. So he told those people who are there, this guy is coming from this corner of the town. The other one is coming from the other end of the town. They are coming from different places. And you see their thought, all of them are having one thought. They are ready to do anything for Swami. That is how you all have to be. He was giving some sort of a small lecture to them. But I was not worried much about it because I was just a small boy. Then suddenly the host of the house, household, they came and told the breakfast is all ready. Swami said, all right, you all go and have breakfast. And he said to all of them. Swami didn't go there. My instruction was to be there itself by our family members. So I used to take my school bag and in case Swami says you go to school, then I can go straight to school. As otherwise I have to be there. Suddenly it happened that she saw my bag. She sent them all and he saw my bag. Then he saw the notebooks, that this and all that, and he saw a small first aid box also. And as soon as he saw that first aid, what is this, he asked. I told it's a first aid box. That time I was in 6th standard. What he told, why do you want to keep a first aid box in your thing? No, you see, we are sharpening pencils. In those days, no sharpness, only blades and all. Sometimes somebody will get hurt. So I used to maintain that. Then, he hugged me like that. That one incident that put me straight into Swami.
Okay.
Because at that age, I didn't know then. I came to know about the impact of it after I became a little elderly person. That one simple incident has moved Swami so much that, each time he comes, he will only search where I am. And he will choose me to be there. Like that, several times I have gone run errands for him. Then one fine day what happened was, I was in the school team, football team, and I was the centre forward.
Which school were you in?
I was in a government school.
Okay.
Then it was municipal school, but my brothers and I were in some kind of a convent like Greeks. They were. Our school will start at 10:15 and then we end up at 4 o'clock.
Okay, it starts as late as 10:15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those days it was like that. Then that day what happened was, I came to the Swami's place, She told me, you remain here. Today you have to be full day here. Swami, there is a match today. And I'm the centre forward and it's an inter-school match. What shall I do? Only you will have to tell me. That was the only question I put boldly. No question of fear or not with Swami. Boldly I asked him. And he told, today there won't be school. The match won't be there. You don't worry. Swami, why Swami, you are telling me? It's confirmed that the match is going to take place and we have taken training, everything yesterday and all that is over. Then he openly told, no, the person who made that C block in your school, who donated the money and the effort to build that C block, he came to me. I have taken him. So there will be a holiday today and the match won't take place.
Okay, meaning he has expired.
Yes.
Ah.
He told he has come and reached me.
Reached me. Ah,
So you won't have the match.
see.
All right, Swami says it happens. No? Then finally the other guys, my other team people who are also devotees, they came back from the school, telling that today there is no school. And they were asking me afterwards, after this thing, how did you know that Swami today there won't be school? How did you know that? Then I have to explain what happened. Finally, what happened was that the very same day he told, "You remain here again." Then he started asking me questions, and I used to tell Swami, I don't know.
In which language would he speak to you?
She will tell, Purinjacha, Tirjacha,
Okay.
Swami, Chechupoyachi,
Oh.
Kasturi, Chechupoyachi, Cherima, he will tell. Na Swami Solringa, if I ask, he will tell, Illa Swami Chechupoyachi, Kasturi Chechupoyachi. Then suddenly, he will tell, Summa Sonna. That Tamil which he talks, only Swami can talk.
Okay.
Such a beautiful, his way of talking Tamil. So he will also talk, I used to talk only in Tamil, and I used to answer also. Then what, she saw my bag, she saw some photos there, and she asked, which place is this? I told, one of my person, friend of mine, who was having a field up there, he had named that place as Panchapandava Hills. Swami, the Panchapandava Hills la photo எடுத்தது Swami, he told. இங்க எங்கடா பஞ்சபாண்டவாஸ் வந்தாங்க? அவங்க நார்த்தில் தானே போனாங்க, இங்கே யாரும் வரலையே. அப்புறமேட்டு இல்லை சாமி இங்கே பக்காசூரன் மரன்ட்டும் வருது, which is coming in Mahabharata story. அந்த பிளேஸ் இருக்குன்னா அது அப்புறமேட்டு வச்ச பேர், அதெல்லாம் இங்கே வரவே இல்லை அவங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லி we are talking to that. Then the time was almost 1:30 or so. Then suddenly there was some band sound going on. And from the place where Swami was sitting, you could see the main road. She was just asking me, what is that? Then I just looked at it and I could make out it's a funeral party that's going. Then she is questioning me, scratching me to tell something. Now, what is that there? Why are they beating the drum? Swami, just to a mark of respect or something they are doing, like that. Then he told, what are they throwing on the corpse? Then I was telling coins and this, this flowers
petals.
And then petals and then rice and all these things, now the onions, all that. Then he asked, why are they doing that? Swami, I really don't know. Then he told one, then that was the time when he changed his voice. His voice volume was different from what he was talking. Do you know what it is? When a person is going to go finish his life, people, they throw these flowers, they put the band and they give him a good farewell send-off. None of these things are going to come and stand in the witness. The good and bad he has done, the services he has done, the prayers he has done, these are the things that is going to come with him. And he has to stand alone in that court. There won't be any pleader or helper or anybody to argue for him. He has to answer himself all the questions. That was a stunning shot for me. I was just wondering, what a sense, there is so much of things in, even in the simple things. Swami is explaining it to me. After that, what happened was, few years passed away. Then at that time, I became a sort of a, say, 16, 17-year-old person. That time, I was having a different type of approach with Swami. That playful thing was not there, but a kind of a respect and that fear was not there. But
Reverence, a kind of a reverence.
Reverence was there. That time he came. Why you didn't come to Puttaparthi this time? No, Swami, my sisters was wanting to go to Puttaparthi. There was only one person allowed at a time because father's having plenty big family. So each time they go for any function, one or two of these sisters will be going. My immediate elder sister was wanting to go because next year she is going to write a public exam. So I said, you go and come. Then he said, that is good. What you did was good, he told me. I didn't know what good and bad it was. But something, what he says is always the truth, that I know.
Yes.
That time what happened was, they all went there, the function, and came back. after they came back, he had given some laddus or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
There were 10 plus 2, 12, a dozen there. But each one received only one. How come the 12 came correctly? They were wondering. Then, when they came here, my aunt, my brother mentioned, she told, your family, there are 12 members totally now. He has given 12, you see. That's how it is. So each one of us given our, it was a great thing those days.
Yes.
And from that time onwards, he used to tell me, you come to Puttaparthi when I call you. I've been waiting, he never called. Then so many things happened, he even stopped coming to Ooty for a few years. After that, suddenly, I happened to go to Prasanthi Nilayam when we were all given this car. That time, 50th birthday was the year when, this committee, all that put together went off and, it became Sri Satyasai Seva Samiti. That was the 50th birthday which I remember. Then, these badges which he used to give and all was not there. That
The
scarf
scarf.
and kind came into being
Yes.
from that year onwards. That time what happened is, we went to Puttaparthi and we did services, and we people had a nice way of identifying ourselves that they are doing work around. We used to wear all white clothes. Because we can, if Swami suddenly call us, Ooty Valu, call them, he'll tell somebody.
Yes.
And they'll be searching out.
So it's easy to identify when you're in a white.
Then
Yes.
we used to signal and all of us used to come and have a group sort of etc. And Swami used to tell, what are you doing there? Swami, we are doing some work, Swami. No, you do one thing, you remain here, you do this, you go to canteen, you do this serving today. You don't do anything. Today you are tired, last night and all you didn't sleep, you go and have a nice sleep. You can, in the evening for the bhajan you come and attend. Like that he used to instruct these people. So that was that's how that white came into being. That day we decided hereafter we should all wear only white. Wherever we are. And we were the ones, we used to tell, everyone used to tell good morning, vanakkam. And we used to tell either kana, namaskaram, otherwise sairam. These words we used to tell. That time, we were the ones who are having the different kind of way of greeting person. People begin to like us in a way. At the same time, Sami good morning, good afternoon, like that they used to ask.
Yes.
Because there are 50% of the people who are not even knowing much about him. They were even against him, some of them.
Yes.
All that used to happen that period. It was a very crucial period.
Right.
That time, there was a paper running here against Swami, only against Swami, a lot of things will run. So that paper used to get circulated and sold everywhere. And they're contaminating the normal people with this, the wrong way of
Yes.
guiding the people.
Yes.
They're all non-believers of God and all that. That type of a person was running the paper.
In fact, it's not only in Ooty. I think it's been all over the place, even in Tamil Nadu and other states.
During that age only, during that period only.
Yes.
Exactly, it was happening everywhere. Wherever Swami's photo was there, people were scared to tell that they are going to Puttaparthi, they are devotees also. Because these people will be revolutionary type of a person, some of them. And then what happened was, one of the 8 persons, he was a very bold person, very, very bold. Swami, you tell me, I will bring that person's shed and keep it in front of your feet. That time he tapped him and told, no, don't do that. That is not right. See, this is, what water is that is going there? Swami, it is drainage water, Swami. Next to that, what is going? A pipeline is going, Swami. So that is drinking water. The intervener said, this is
Drainage water.
You require both. Without one or the other, you cannot live in a place. You require both of these things. Similarly, you require these persons also. Then only, you will You know the value of the...
Yes, only when good and bad coexist, you'll realize the power of the good, which will actually surface out, and
Yes,
that's
exactly.
when the whole knowledge springs up.
Exactly, that's
So,
what it is.
and he's done it so beautifully. I mean, it's only an avatar who can do all this.
Yeah.
I mean, just imagine as devotees, I think many of us have been very deeply troubled when we saw such news reports. But I don't think Swami would have just even had an iota of thought on those things. And he'd say, and he would even bless those people. I still remember
Yes.
there was a time when there was somebody who came to put a bomb on Swami, but Swami just forgive and says, no, leave him.
Yes.
See, that kind-heartedness,
Yes.
love all and serve all, that was his message, and he has proved it.
That time, another one thing, what happened was, this Prasanthi Nilayam itself, these people, used to cross the Prasanthi Nilayam on donkeys containing alcohol and liquor and other such things. It used to irritate devotees. So, one of us, out of the five, these fellows are doing this Swami, shall we do something for it? He told, don't worry. Their children, today they are telling Swami, no God, nothing, no. Their children will be coming here and studying. They will be telling Saram to everybody. And we were thinking, we never knew that he's going to start an education institution.
Right.
And that the children of these people are going to come and study there.
Yes. And those who antagonized Swami and those who were against him in all ways are the ones who are really,
Closer to him.
becoming closer, wanting to get more closer because they realize his worth.
Yes. That's how it
So, it's you beautifully put it, Rauji. Premnaji, I must say, you really spelt it in such a wonderful way and brought back the past and the glorious moments of how Swami, showed us through his message. My life is my message அப்படிங்கறத ரொம்ப அழகா காமிச்சிருக்காரு. அதை நீங்க ரொம்ப நல்லா சொல்லிருக்கீங்க. இந்த பாயிண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் சொல்லும்போது அதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப நல்லா வந்திருக்கு. So
அதுல எனக்கு என்ன ரொம்ப இம்ப்ரெஸ் ஆனதுனாக்கா, I used to wonder why are people for wearing scarf, sitting there and they're not giving they're like a hindrance to those who want to see Swami when the darshan is happening. Like that it used to happen. And one fine day, I was not having my scarf, but I was in white and white. One gentleman was wearing some colorful dresses and standing with a scarf. So the person was in charge of the campus before the Swami's darshan. He came. Somehow he recognized me. I remember seeing him. He was having a beard, some kind of allergy. Therefore, he had grown a beard. He had come to Ooty along with Swami. All that I knew. So he called me. Have you got a scarf? Yes, I have one in my pocket. You do one thing. You go and wear the scarf and you send that person to the other side, to the canteen or something. You take care of him because all are wearing white dresses. Now how can I go and build the cat? You all are wearing white and you are wearing colorful dress. Now what shall I do? I just tapped at him and told him, you do one thing, I'll tell you, if you go and stand there, you will have a nice darshan of Swami. He's definitely going to give you and he's going to talk to you, it's a promise, on my head I'll give you. If you go and stand there, I'm telling you something which I know. And he obliged. He didn't feel otherwise. He went and stood somewhere next to that place. Here I was standing in his place. It so happened that during those days, you see, there were people who were against Swami, they did not like Swami. And some of them used to bring on donkeys, what do you call it, this bags, this alcohol and all those things, and cross the mandir premises, the Prasad Mandir. So one of our guys asked Swami, they are doing like this, why should we not, shall we do something about it? Then what he told was, well, don't worry about it. They are doing like that, but their children will be coming and telling me, Sairam, and they'll be studying. I'm going to be their teacher and they're going to study in my school. That's what he told me. But at that time, you see, we never even thought that Swami is going to start such a big university. There was nothing. No school, nothing was there in Puttaparthi at that time.
And Swami has always been full of surprises.
Yes.
So we never knew what his next move is going to be like. So that is also another thing. And whoever was against Swami, Swami has beautifully brought them into his fold, which is something absolutely wonderful.
She told a joke also during that time. There was one Venkateswara Rao who was having a mica mine and he was having lots of race horses. So she wanted to name one or two of these new horses, Swami's name. Swami told, why you want to name Sairam? I want to name that horse Sairam. All right, you name it. People will tell, Sami illa nuanga. அங்கே பணத்தை கட்டிட்டு சாராம் கமான் சாராம் they'll be telling he joked like that. So that joke directly happened to hear that time.
Okay.
But
so there
then,
were people naming their horses as Sairam.
Yeah, she had 3 horses. His name was Sairam, Sai Maika, Sairam Maika and some other. Because he's connected to that Maika. All his horses we used to have some kind of a mica name in it, something like that. So she was having a good car, a Cadillac in those days, and Swami happened to come in that car with him.
Cadillac, is it? Yeah.
Cadillac. That photo was there, but I don't know whether it's right now. We had those photos taken all the devotees. The car was standing next to it in a place called Lupinula in Ooty itself. That was it. Then finally what happened was, she asked me, started scratching me, you asked something. Then at that age, around 17 or so, I just asked him, Swami, you talked about this funeral going. Now how to escape this death and all these things? I happened to ask that. I don't know what made me ask that, because that tender age, our thoughts would be going elsewhere. Our question will be, I want to get this, I want to do it, something like that. So he asked me, you ask anything you want, whatever you want you ask. Then I told him, see Swami, that funeral that went, you gave a very good explanation which I understood. But how to escape from this world, this sort of things. How is that, how to go to Mukti or whatever it is you are saying. Then he became, his eyebrows went up and he straight away said, I will tell you one easy way. You see, there is a ladder there standing outside. Can you see that? He asked me. Yes, Swami, I can see. How is it? He just gave an explanation. I told there are 2 poles and some cross sticks, that is making it a ladder. Then he told, the right pole and the left pole are there, isn't it? Yes, Swami. One is you pray to Swami, fully with your wholeheartedness. You do bhajan, you think of Swami, think satsang, everything. The other one is you keep helping everybody. That what we now call it as service. So you do that. These 2 are the necessary things to climb up, to reach that heavenly place, he told. Then I told him, how about those cross sticks, Swami? That is grace. Each time you are going up, I will be placing one by one so that you will climb over it. That is my work. It is not your work. Your work is only catch hold of these 2 poles. The rest I will take care. Nothing else is yours.
So beautifully conveyed. And what a profound way of giving an example. That too when you asked such a question in a teenage. Normally teenagers won't ask such questions. So, and Swami is also answering it to you in such a beautiful manner, which is really keeping me spellbound. I have no words.
Yeah, that's how he did. But I knew something. After seeing that funeral, you see, usually when a death goes, people will feel a little bit shaken like. So, I was just wondering, keeping that also, he has given a good explanation of what's happening. You have to go alone.
Yes.
That is the word he told. Nobody is going to come there. He told nobody is going to stand for you, get a wakalat and talk or argue in front of you like they do in a court of law. Nobody is going to come. You have to go and stand there alone. and you'll have to answer that thing. The judge will be a very powerful one. You won't be able to bear him. All that he was telling. So that struck me. I was just thinking the whole day. Then this happened. That was how I asked the question and he gave a nice example. That particular ladder, what happened was, people were telling you should not keep a ladder in front. Something like that. Some kind of a superstition or whatsoever it is, I don't know. But it happened to be there. Nobody had removed it. But Swami directly asked, what is that? Then I suddenly remember that somebody had asked the people to remove that ladder and they have not done it. That struck me. But then I told Swami, it's a ladder. Then he told, explain. I told it's having two poles and it's having some cross sticks, in which we climb up. Then he told, do you know what those two poles are? How you are asking me how to escape from these difficulties and the unreal fact of the life. So he told one side of the pole is what you call it bhakti and bhajan, what you call it satsang or whatever you may call it. That is connecting ourselves with something divine. The other one pole is what you do to others. You should not hurt others, but at the same time you must help. You must be doing all good things for them. You must be very helpful for them. You must do, if they are in need, you must help them. All these things she told that the other one is. What we today call it as service. Then I suddenly asked him, how about those cross sticks, Swami? What are they? Then he told, that is my grace. That is my work. As and how you are doing these two things, I will be putting out that steps in which you will be climbing up and going up. That is my work. I will see that you will reach the target at last. He told that. After several years, after going through all these literatures, this and all that, I came to understand that what I had asked that day and the answer which he gave was very simple. But what a profound impact it is having and the inner meaning of it.
And looking at it, now when you say it, it's like our life is being surrounded by this ladder. You see what he gave as an example. Now today, every one of us will be reminded of this ladder and we will know that one is the bhakti front and the other is the seva or the service front.
Yes.
So,
in between the question which I asked, he told that is grace.
Grace.
And he told that is my work. It is my duty to see that the steps are given at the pole. Each time you climb up, I'll have to keep on adding that according to your thing until you reach the target, he told.
So he's given his word. So it's now up to us to make sure we climb the ladder and in a very steadfast route so that we reach him quicker.
That is the two, in my life what I feel is either the satsang or the service. The total number of hours, days, months and put together, that is my real age.
Right.
The other things other than the ages that cross other than these two things is all does not come into the account.
No, we've actually frittered that life away. That's how I'd like to put it.
So my real age, how old are you means, it is the consolidated total aggregate of what all I have done. It might be even 5 years, 6 years or maybe less or a little bit this and that said. That has been my real life. The rest of my life is not real life. It cannot be looked into life at all.
So you put it very beautifully, Premnath ji. So I have really, a good understanding of this ladder. Today, I'm sure when I get back home, every minute I'll be reminded of this ladder. Because we often have ladders at home, but rarely do we have an example here set before, a beautiful example with a simple item as a ladder. So I thank you once again from the bottom of my heart, Premnath ji, brother. And It's been a blissful satsang to say the least.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Jai Sai Ram.
Jai Sai Ram.
Love you all.